If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The Cleveland Browns locker room has always been known for its mix of grit, fire, and a little chaos. But this week, things hit a whole new level. Reports are flying out of Berea that head coach Kevin Stefanski completely lost his cool during a team meeting, and the reason? A heated clash with one of his own players. Sources close to the team describe it as the loudest anyone has ever seen Stefanski, which is saying something for a guy known for being measured, calm, and calculated on the sidelines. Something snapped, and the coach reportedly demanded the immediate removal of a key player from the roster. Nobody's saying names yet, but the whispers inside the organization suggest it's someone high-profile, someone the locker room actually respects, and that's what's making this story explode. This isn't just a minor disagreement or a tactical dispute about play calling. No, insiders are calling it a full-blown meltdown that left players stunned, assistants silent, and the front office scrambling. Whatever happened behind those closed doors, it's clear Stefanski's patience has officially run out, and this could be the beginning of a storm the Browns haven't seen in years. What's wild about all this is how out of character it seems for Kevin Stefanski. This is the same coach who's been praised for his composure under pressure, the same guy who guided Cleveland through playoff droughts and quarterback chaos with a steady hand. For him to reportedly slam a clipboard, raise his voice, and storm out of the team facility, that's not normal. That's a man pushed to the absolute limit. Some say the tension has been building for weeks, especially after a series of internal disputes about team discipline and effort levels. One player, described as a major voice in the locker room, allegedly challenged Stefanski's authority in front of the squad. That moment, sources say, lit the fuse. Now, players are divided. Some are siding with their coach, saying enough is enough. You can't have players disrespecting leadership. Others, though, are quietly defending the player, hinting that Stefanski has been on edge lately, possibly due to growing pressure from upstairs. After all, expectations are sky high in Cleveland this season, and a few sloppy losses have everyone feeling the heat. Something broke last night, and the fallout could reshape this entire Browns season. As of now, the Browns organization is staying tight-lipped, issuing the classic, no comment on internal matters statement, but make no mistake, this isn't going away quietly. The local media has been buzzing. Fans are dissecting every rumor on social media, and reporters are camped out near the practice facility waiting for a glimpse of who shows up, and more importantly, who doesn't. One insider claimed Stefanski even met privately with the front office this morning, pushing for a decision to be made about the player's future. That's how serious it's gotten. If true, that means this isn't a simple apology situation. Stefanski wants action, maybe even a roster cut or trade. Imagine the implications. A veteran leader suddenly gone mid-season, the locker room shaken, and the head coach risking it all to prove a point. It's the kind of story that can define a team's trajectory. Either it rallies them, or it tears them apart. Right now, no one knows which way this thing will swing, but fans are bracing for something big. The Browns might be headed for another identity crisis, and the coach himself could be right in the eye of the storm. To understand why Stefanski might have snapped, you've got to look at the bigger picture. The Browns came into this season with massive expectations. The defense was stacked, the offense had weapons, and the city of Cleveland believed this could finally be their year. But week after week, inconsistency has plagued them. Missed assignments, locker room leaks, even sideline arguments. It's been boiling beneath the surface. Insiders have whispered that Stefanski's been frustrated with certain players' attitudes, feeling like some stars think they're bigger than the system. And when that happens, even the most composed coach can lose control. The breaking point, according to one anonymous staff member, came after a brutal film session where one player openly mocked Stefanski's play calling. What followed was an explosion, shouting, finger-pointing, and an ultimatum. Either he goes, or I do, Stefanski reportedly said. That's a quote making its way through the locker room right now. The message was clear. This wasn't just about football anymore. It was about respect. And in the NFL, once that line is crossed, it's almost impossible to go back. Stefanski's meltdown might have been a moment of passion or the start of something much darker. Fans are torn right now. Half the fan base is backing Stefanski, saying he's showing fire and leadership by standing his ground. The other half, they're worried he's lost control of the team. Social media is flooded with theories about which player he's targeting. Some think it's a defensive veteran. Others say it's one of the offensive stars who's been underperforming and clashing with the staff. Nobody knows for sure, but the tension is electric. You can feel it in every Browns forum and talk show. Analysts are already debating what this means for the team's future. Does the front office back the coach? Or do they protect the locker room harmony and move on from him? The Browns have been through this before. Talented rosters undone by chaos and egos. But this time, it feels different because it's Stefanski, the man who was supposed to bring calm, now becoming the storm. If this rumor keeps growing, we could be looking at one of the most shocking coaching outbursts in recent Browns history, maybe even something that changes the direction of the franchise. One thing's for sure, Cleveland's drama is just getting started. Inside the facility, it's pure tension. Players are walking on eggshells, waiting for someone to break the silence. Team meetings have been reportedly tense, with Stefanski trying to restore order while the front office tries to cool things down behind the scenes. One assistant coach even told a local reporter, "We've never seen Kevin like this. He's done playing nice." That statement alone says a lot. Stefanski's always been the even-keeled guy, the one who calms things down when emotions flare. But right now, he's the source of the chaos. There's talk that the locker room split could worsen if the situation isn't handled fast. Veterans want answers, rookies are confused, and everyone's trying to figure out how it got to this point. The irony? The Browns are actually still in the playoff hunt. But with this internal turmoil, the focus has shifted completely away from the field. Everyone's attention is on the drama between the coach and his player. It's the kind of distraction that can derail a season. Whether this ends in reconciliation or a shocking roster move, one thing's clear. Kevin Stefanski has reached a breaking point, and Cleveland is holding its breath. The latest whispers around the league say this might not just be an emotional reaction. Some insiders believe Stefanski's outburst was calculated, a power move to reassert control. There's a theory floating around that he's been feeling undermined by certain veterans who have too much influence in the locker room. And this blow-up was his way of sending a message. It's the old "my way" or the highway statement that coaches make when they feel their authority slipping. Sources claim Stefanski met privately with ownership after the incident, explaining that his patience had run dry with players who refused to buy into the system. Apparently, ownership didn't exactly disagree. That's what's fascinating about this rumor. This might not end with Stefanski being the villain. He could actually walk away from this stronger, more respected, and more in control. Of course, that depends on how the team responds. If the Browns rally around him, it's a turning point. But if the locker room tunes him out, it could spell disaster. Either way, this feels like a defining chapter for Kevin Stefanski's tenure in Cleveland, one that will either cement his authority or mark the beginning of the end. Meanwhile, the player at the center of all this, whoever it is, remains silent. That silence is only adding fuel to the fire. Usually, when rumors like this hit the media, someone from the player's camp rushes to deny it, to clear the air. But not this time. Nothing. Just silence. And that's making everyone wonder if there's truth to it. Maybe the player knows he crossed a line. Maybe he's waiting for the front office to make the first move. Some fans are even speculating he's already been told to stay home until things cool down, though no official suspension has been reported. The quiet feels strategic, almost eerie. And as the speculation grows, Stefanski's reputation is shifting too. People are realizing he's not just a calm, clipboard-holding strategist. He's got fire. Real fire. Maybe too much. The Browns facility has turned into a pressure cooker, and every new report just raises the temperature. It's no longer just about football. It's about pride, leadership, and who runs this team. And until someone breaks the silence, every headline, every tweet, and every whisper keeps adding more gasoline to an already dangerous blaze. Fans outside the facility have been showing up just to catch a glimpse of Stefanski. Some are cheering his name, yelling things like, "Stand your ground, coach." Others, though, look worried, shaking their heads, wondering if this is the beginning of another Cleveland implosion. The Browns fanbase has lived through decades of heartbreak, and they know all too well what happens when drama overshadows discipline. Talk shows are eating it up. National analysts debating whether this was passion or panic, leadership or meltdown. Even former Browns players are chiming in on social media, hinting that something's been brewing for a while. Not surprised. One ex-player posted cryptically. That comment alone sent Reddit threads into a frenzy. It's like the entire city has turned into an investigative unit, piecing together fragments of truth from whispers and tweets. Everyone's waiting for that one big leak, the one that finally reveals who the mystery player is. Until then, Cleveland feels like it's living inside a soap opera. And STEFANSKI, whether he likes it or not, is now the main character in a drama that's captivating not just the city, but the entire NFL world. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Inside the Browns organization, the power dynamics have become the real story. You've got STEFANSKI, the head coach, trying to keep his authority intact. You've got a front office balancing loyalty to their coach with the need to maintain locker room harmony. And then you've got the players, split down the middle, wondering who they should really follow. That's a dangerous combination in the NFL, where chemistry is everything. One misstep, one wrong statement to the media, and the whole thing can implode. What's interesting is that some league insiders believe STEFANSKI's frustration might stem from promises that weren't kept, maybe about roster decisions, or how discipline was supposed to be handled. If that's true, then this isn't just STEFANSKI versus one player. It's STEFANSKI versus the system. And that's where things get messy. Because if a coach starts feeling like the front office doesn't back him up, that's when the yelling starts. That's when clipboards fly. And that's when relationships fracture beyond repair. The Browns are standing on a tightrope right now. One wrong move, and this power struggle could send their entire season tumbling into chaos. What makes this whole situation even more fascinating is how STEFANSKI's meltdown has actually earned him new respect from some corners of the league. Other coaches are reportedly saying, good for him. There's a sense that maybe STEFANSKI's finally showing the edge he's been missing, the killer instinct that separates great coaches from just good ones. Because let's be real, the NFL isn't a place for nice guys. It's brutal, political, and unforgiving. And maybe STEFANSKI's realizing that to survive, you have to fight fire with fire. Still, there's a fine line between passion and panic, and nobody's sure which side of that line he's on right now. His players are watching closely. Every word he says this week, every move he makes, will determine how they respond. If he channels that emotion into leadership, he could spark something incredible. But if he keeps unraveling, it could all crash down fast. One thing's undeniable. The Browns' locker room will never be the same after this. Win or lose, Kevin Stefanski's true character is being revealed right now, and the whole league is watching with popcorn in hand. As of today, the Browns are officially entering uncharted waters. The team's next game is looming, and the big question is, how does STEFANSKI handle the sidelines after all this? Will the rumored players suit up, or will his absence confirm everything? The cameras will be glued to the coach's every move, his body language, his expressions, his interactions with players. You can bet the commentators will have a field day with it. And honestly, you can't blame them. This kind of tension, this kind of raw emotion, is rare in a league where everyone's trained to say nothing and smile for the cameras. STEFANSKI broke that wall. He showed something real: anger, frustration, passion. Maybe it was messy, but it was human. And that's why fans can't look away. Whether he made a massive mistake or took a bold stand, this will define his legacy in Cleveland. If the Browns turn things around and rally behind him, he'll be remembered as the coach who finally demanded respect. But if they crumble, this meltdown will haunt him forever. Either way, Kevin Stefanski just changed the story, and the NFL world won't stop talking about it. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!